Oh. Ugh. How long has it been? 8 minutes! Guys, before I start this video, in the aid of supporting each other as musicians, I would like to ask you to do me a favor and check out this chart here and comment down below with the color of the heart, which sums up how you're feeling. Whether it's positive, whether it's negative. I know it's a tough time at the moment, but if you can comment down below, not only so that I can get involved, but the whole community can get involved and help out when people are feeling a bit low. What's up guys, Damian Keyes here. So, hands up, who is bored of lockdown? I am. Not only that, but this is getting out of hand and crazy. And at the moment, I think I speak for all of you and everyone when I say I just hope this thing just fucks right off as soon as possible. The whole world is in pause. We're in waiting. We don't know what to do, how long it's going to take. It's very frustrating. But while the whole world is bored and waiting and taking to social media not only to find out the news but also to keep themselves distracted, the big question for you as musicians is now a good time to release music? You see, whilst I am scrolling through Instagram or on YouTube or Facebook, I keep getting told by all of these social media Gary V wannabes, now is the time to release music. There's never been a better time. But is that actually true? Well, I don't think it is. I don't think that tells the full story. In fact, I don't think it's a yes or no answer at all. Yes, it's true. YouTube has gone up by 56% and everyone is watching more stuff. We need to be distracted. But this, to me, is all about consumption and context. Right now, people are buried in social media, but it doesn't mean they're playing your game of how they're going to promote your music, how they're going to help you and get involved. Everything has now changed. So the question shouldn't be, is now a good time to release music? The question should be, how should you release music in this time? The first question I want you to ask yourself is, why are you releasing music at this point? I know that sounds like a crazy thing, but what are you hoping to achieve from it? Because I actually think now is a great time to build an audience. People are paying attention, people need distracting, people need entertaining, people are stressed, they're anxious, they're waiting, they've got nothing to do, so they are taking to social media, which means they are more likely to start scrolling through, seeing your stuff, and then potentially coming on your journey. But does that mean they're going to buy from you? So if you are planning on putting out some music in the next couple of weeks, there is definitely some things you need to think about. A third of the entire global population is stuck in a flat or a house and can't do anything. So when it comes to playing the game, the release date has just changed. In my opinion, all of the lead up has now pretty much gone. We're not going to play that game of 10 days to go, 9 days to go. We don't know what's going to be happening in 10 days' time. So from here on in, if you're going to release music, all of a sudden it becomes from when you release that track. At that point, we're going to start promoting it. But if you're going to say, hey, 10 days to go, people are going to go, no, that was last month. Now I'm bored, give me the shit. The next thing is big releases or exclusive releases. If you've made a lot of music and you have been building up to something which you're very excited about and you're about to do a huge campaign, let's think about stopping and maybe either pausing that campaign until this starts to go away or maybe start breaking it down. Because at the moment, you're not going to get as much traction. Everyone is distracted over here looking at something. And for you to come along and go, hey, new music, means you're not going to get their full attention. Now, I do think you can get some really good attention at this time, but what you don't want to do is waste the last 3 to 6 months of your life of building something to not be able to get that traction. My advice is little and often. My advice is starting to drip feed stuff to people so that they can take it in, you can promote it, and you can rinse and repeat that again and again. Number 3, being respectful for where people's heads are at the moment when it comes to anxiety levels and being fed up of all of this stuff. When you're trying to push your music out to people, just remember that most people are worried right now. They're worried about their health and their family. They're not seeing their family. They can't go outside. They're probably worried about their job. They're worried about money. They're worried about their friends' money. All of this stuff is going in and rattling around in people's heads. So if then you come along and start asking them to do lots of stuff, it's probably not the right time or the right context. Yes, people 100% are watching, but that doesn't mean they're doing right now. They're in a state of pause and shock, and they're watching and they're taking things in. And maybe in a couple of weeks or a month's time, at that point, maybe they'll be so bored that they will start to do, and they might feel like they can spend a bit more money, but right now, time has stopped everything. Number 4, personal brand promo just became even more important than it's ever been before. And the reason for that is because you can do some live gigs in your house, but there's not a lot you can do. We are very, very restricted. But what you can do is tell stories. What you can do is have conversations. What you can do is show people what you stand for and who you are. And so therefore, that has now become very, very much more in the forefront of people's minds. People are now watching, and if they watch enough of you, they'll start to become addicted to you. And yes, the music is a big player in that, but personal brand and what you stand for going into that now means more than ever. And number 5, and the big one, you need to start making this fun. We are a world in stress and pain and anxiety, and we need entertaining and we need distraction. But what we really need right now is fun. We need to just escape from the reality of what is happening around the world so that from time to time we can just go into a little bubble and have fun. So let's talk about a bunch of fun things that you can do with your social media to look after your audience and also gain more traction with your numbers, with yourself, and with your music. Number 1, something you're probably doing, but if you're not, you need to start now, is Instagram Lives. Instagram Live is so simple, and you don't need to do 1 a day. You can do 3 or 4 or 5 a day. This is literally a check-in. This is literally jumping on Insta Live and being like, hi, here I am, who wants a chat? I just want to have a chat, see how everybody's doing. Or you can do Q&As, or you can even bring people into your Q&As, which I'm seeing from quite a lot of artists. Number 2, when you're on that Instagram Live, what about a pub quiz? Something that I think is really fun is we can't go to pubs, pubs have been closed. So why don't we bring the pubs to the people? Why don't we say, do you know what? Just the same as I'm going to bring the performances to the people, I'm going to bring the atmosphere as well. So we're going to have a pub quiz. And the great thing about a pub quiz is you can make it about your tribe. So therefore, if you're into metal, it means you can actually make a pub quiz about the genre of metal. If you're into R&B, you can make it about old school or new school R&B, and you can bring your tribe into it, which means you can start to tell your story at the same time as keeping people entertained. Number 3, this is the perfect time to tell stories. Not just to tell your story, but to tell 1,000 stories. This is what we need. We're all stuck in the house. We've all been sent to our room for being naughty. And so right now what we need is just to be distracted with fun stories. And yes, we're going to watch Netflix, and yes, we're probably going to exhaust YouTube, but why can't you start to use this time to tell some fun stories? Again, it's part of this checking in process. Number 4, online live gigs. Now, obviously, this is the first thing that a musician should be doing, is taking to Instagram Live or Facebook Live and actually doing a mini performance. But this doesn't have to be as complicated as you think. And yes, some massive artists like Youngblood and Hunter Hayes have done full-on gigs with nobody there. But that's a lot of production, a lot of work, and probably a lot of money, and something you guys can't do. But just to be able to pick up that guitar and perform a song right now, it means a lot. It's something that people can know that you're still there for them, which is what we need right now. We need to know that people are still there, they're still struggling on, and we are all in this together. And number 5, what about collabing? Do you know what's amazing about this is the last 2 weeks, we have seen this as being the biggest leveler amongst social media and artists across the world. It doesn't matter how big you are as an artist or how small you are as an artist, you have now got a level playing field because we're all in the same boat. We all have our instrument and a room, and we can't just go out to a gig. We can't go and film our stadium gig. We can't go and do any of that kind of stuff. So this is now about creativity and actually in the doing. And it shows who is able to actually do this live, which means John Mayer's going to win because John Mayer can pick up that guitar and he can play something and make us go, oh, he's amazing. I'll come back again tomorrow. But when it comes to fun, why can't we make the collabs fun and interesting as well? So for example, whether it's a Q&A with someone that you know or bringing someone from your community into collab, but what about a performance live? So something I saw this week was Brad Paisley did a live collab on Instagram with Carrie Underwood, but the comedy of it was, as they were both in the house and she's in the kitchen and he's in his living room, the comedy was there was a slight glitch in time because of the way that they're both on their Instagram live, and you can see him playing the guitar just slightly out of sync trying to figure it out, but it all added to the magic. It all added to the we're all in this together moment. It doesn't have to be perfect, and this is the greatest leveler to mean that you and John Mayer and your favorite artist are now on the same level. So in summary, how should you be releasing music right now? Well, number one, respectfully. You need to respect the fact that people are stressed or anxious or bored or fed up, but probably not going to play the same game that they have a month or a year ago. Number two, this is not about numbers anymore. This is not about how many people you can get onto your Spotify. This is not about how many sales you can get because no one's buying. This is not about how many new subscribers you can get. That will come in time, but right now that's not important. What is important is looking after people, looking after your audience and looking after anyone else that you can get in front of. This is about playing the long-term game, and in order to do that, you need to do it little and often. Just small things, just saying, hey, I wrote this today, I just wanted to give it to you, here you are. Hey, I just wanted to come on Instagram Live and I wanted to say hi. Hey, here I am again, I just wanted to show you this picture that I drew. It's just trying to keep people distracted and escape from real life as often as you can. And to reiterate the big point, which is, this is your time to give now, because in the long run, you will receive. But this is the time over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, possibly 6 months to give and give and give and give. And I promise you it will get returned, but it probably won't get returned now. It will get returned 6 months to 9 months down the line. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And as I said in the beginning of the video, if you can check out this chart and comment down below on where you fit in that chart and why. I want to know why. Are you positive about this? Are you struggling? If you are struggling, then I want this community to be behind you and start to help you. So tell me the positives, tell me the negatives, just tell me how you're feeling at the moment and if there's anything we can do to help. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.